important. Okay, so now we'll just start with the first model, which I had told you in the previous session, that we are going to design a house, and on this journey we are going to learn the rest of the tools. So today we are going to make a room. Okay, so I want you to make a room with a rectangle tool. Click on this rectangle tool. Now we'll specify a specific dimension. We'll give this room a specific dimension. Suppose I want to make a room of 5000 by 7000 mm distance. So you know now that the 5000 mm dimension will be along the red axis and 7000 mm dimension will be along the green axis. Okay, so just enter 5000, 7000 and click enter. So now you can see we have a small rectangle, which is this side is 5000 and this side is 7000. Okay, now this is our room. This is the basic floor plate of our room. I want to create walls. So the first, I'm just going back. I'm not covering the wall part right now. I'm just going to teach you how the massing works. Okay, suppose we want to create a block of a room. This is just a 2D figure. I want to give it a third dimension. I want to create a 3D figure. So what I'll do is, I'll go to the second tool palette. Yesterday we learned this tool palette. Today I'm going to teach you the second tool palette. The first tool, that is push and pull, you have to click on. Click on this push and pull tool, bring it near your rectangle, click on your rectangle and move your mouse. This is very easy. So you have just elongated your 2D figure. You have elongated your room. Now your room looks like a block. Okay, you have given a height to your room. But this height is very random. You have not given it a specific height, right? I'll just Control Z, undo it. I want to give it a specific height. I want to give it 3000 mm. I click on it, move my mouse. Now don't click again. Just enter 3000 from your keyboard and click on enter. Now you can see this dimension is 5000 mm. This dimension is 7000 mm and this dimension is 3000 mm. You have created a room. So this is the basic massing. Okay, just using your push and pull tool. Push and pull tool is just used for creating 3D figures out of 2Ds. Just try to create 3D of everything which we have done here. I created a 3D of square, okay, a 3D pentagon, a 3D rectangle. Okay, the circle part is very interesting. See, it's a 3D cylinder, right? A cuboid, again a cylinder of a greater height, again a cuboid, cuboid. So we have created all these 3D images out of just 2D figures. Okay, so this is very important. The push and pull tool is very important. You can try this push and pull tool in anything which is gray or anything which has a face on it will have a push and pull tool. Now I'm going to teach you how to create groups and components. After this group and component portion, we'll go to how to start designing with our house. Okay, so what is a group and what is a component? I'm going to teach you the difference. So this pentagon actually looks very interesting. So we'll work on this pentagon for now. Okay, I'll just create a group for this pentagon. For creating a group, you have to select the whole thing. Suppose you want to move this pentagon from here to here. Okay, you go to this move option, move tool. Okay, click on anywhere, click on any face and try to move it. Yeah, it will move. If you do the same thing with a square or a rectangle, see, I'm trying to move this cuboid. only this face is moving. Okay. Why only this face is moving? Because the move tool only works on one particular face. If you try to move this line, see what's happening. Try it with yourself. Only one face will move. So we don't want that. We want to move this whole thing, just like this pentagon was moving from here to here. Pentagon is a different kind of shape, that's why it's working like that. But a rectangle or a square, this won't move. Okay, even if you try to move a cylinder, yes, it will work, but not a cuboid or a cube. So why is this happening? Because this move tool is selecting only a particular face or a particular edge. We don't want that. We want it to select the whole thing. To select the whole thing, in the last session I also taught you, go to select option, keep clicking your left mouse button, drag it and release. You have selected your whole structure. Now try to move it. Now it will move anywhere. Place it anywhere. So this is the basic move tool. But whenever you try to move something, you will always have to select the whole thing, right? And even if there are multiple objects beside it, multiple objects above this object, it will be very problematic to select the whole face. To make it a little easier, we usually create groups. Okay. So as I've already selected the whole thing, I'll just right click on it. I'll click on make group. There are many options here. Right click, as I right clicked it, there are many options. Click on make group. Once you click on it, now it has been made a group. Everything which was inside there, every line, every edge, every face is now glued to one typical face. Okay. So now I click anywhere else. Now suppose I click here. Now I go back and I click on this cuboid. As you can see, the whole cuboid is now selected because it's a whole group now. Now I try to move it. So I hope you understand, grouping means all the faces come together and stick towards each other. Okay, now suppose I take this cuboid, drag it, and I move it towards this cuboid. Now I'll right click on it. I've selected the whole thing. Make sure you selected the whole thing. Okay. If you are selected like this, then this line will remain. Then it will be very problematic. If you try to move it, yeah, it will move, but still you have to select the whole thing. Right click, click on make component. Give it when we made a group, this description part was not there, but when we are creating a component, there's this dialog box which is appearing. Okay, so enter cuboid. I'm just giving it a name, cuboid, and I'll enter create. So now we have two objects. We have a group and we have a component. Now you'll ask me, what is the difference? I'll just tell you what the real difference is. Component is also like the same like the group. So now I want you to create at least 4 copies of your group. This was a group. Select the whole thing. Click on this move. Okay. And click Control C, Control V. Okay, the basic Control C, Control V copy paste shortcuts we are using here. Click anywhere. Again, press Control V. Click anywhere, Control V. So we are having 4 copies of our group, right? We just selected our first group. We did Control C and we Control V it 3 times. We did Control V 3 times. Now, the same thing with components. Select the whole thing. Click on your move tool. Control C, Control V. Click anywhere, Control V, Control V. So we are having 4 copies. We are having 4 objects of group and 4 objects of components. So now, if I try to make any change on this group, okay. So first of all, if you want to make any changes on a specific group and component, you cannot. I'll just tell you an example. If I try to push it, I want to increase the height. You can see there's this red no sign on this cursor. That is telling us that you cannot perform any action on this group because now it has been formed as a group. Whereas this cuboid is not a group. If I want to increase its height or if I want to decrease its height, it is possible, but not in this case because this is a group. Same goes with here. This is a group. Okay. So even if I suppose I make a partition on this cuboid because this cuboid is not a group. Okay. You can see there are 2 faces now. I created a partition with this line. There are 2 faces. But if I create a partition in this group, with this line, there's no change. It is not being affected by any operation. I'll just delete this line. So why is this? Because now you have created a group. It is restricting from any operation. To give any addition or to change anything inside a group, you have to double click on it. Okay. Right now I'm double clicking on this group. As you can see, everything else turns blur and only this portion the SketchUp is focusing on. Only this cube. Now I can increase its height, decrease its height. Okay. I can even increase or decrease its width like this. I can give it partition. Okay. And then there are 2 faces. So all these things are, I just undid it. So all these things are possible inside a group. So to enter inside a group, you have to double click on it, and to exit out of this group, you have to just click somewhere else. I just exited. If you want to do anything again on this, again nothing will happen. There's this face which has been made. Okay, I'll just delete it. So to enter, again, if you want to enter this group, click on it, double click, you are inside. The same with components. If you want to make any changes, it won't allow you. But if you double click on it, and once you've entered inside, you can make changes. So now you saw that when I made changes on this group, okay, I want to make this like this. So I made changes on this group. Only this group has been changed. All these groups, all the copies which I made are now the same. But whenever I make any change on components, just watch what I'm doing. I'm increasing its height. As you can see, all the copies are increasing their heights. Okay. Increasing the width. All the copies are increasing in width. So this is the basic difference in a group and a component. Whenever you are creating multiple groups, and if you have to make any changes, you have to make changes individually. But if you are creating a similar group, if you want to create a similar group, suppose you want to create chair. Okay, you want to design a chair, then this component part works. So you created a chair and you gave 10 copies of the component. But then you realize, oh shit, I actually decreased the height of chair. I want to increase the height of the chair to suppose 500 mm more. Then just by changing the height of one chair, all the chair's height will be changed. So this works in 2 different ways, the group and the component. Now suppose you have given it a component. You have given all these things as a component, but you want to still make changes and you don't want the changes to reflect in this, this and this, right? So just click on the object which you want to make changes on, right click. Okay, then there's an option of make unique. Click on this make unique option. Now it is different from all these components. Now if you try to increase its height or width, only this height will increase and the rest will remain same. So till now we have learned how to make group, how to make changes in a group. Just by double clicking inside it, we can make changes. Click outside, you're back on the drawing plane. Okay, how to make component, how to do changes in a component, and how to make a component unique or different from others. So this is how you work with groups and components. Now grouping and component is very important for moving things, for moving, rotating and scaling. Okay, so I already told you how to move. Go to this move tool, click anywhere. Okay, so one thing you have to remember is don't click on these red plus signs. This sign is for rotating. I'll tell you what rotating is later. Just beware from these red plus signs for now if you want to move. Click anywhere on this plane. Move, done. Okay, now I'll come to rotating. What is rotating? Go to this rotating option. Okay, click anywhere on this plane. Select any other point and move your mouse. As you can see, this whole thing is rotating. If you want to, I'll just click escape so that it turns back. If you want to rotate this cuboid along a specific plane, suppose right now it's in the green axis, you want to rotate it along the red axis like this. Okay, it has been rotated in 90 degrees. Again, to lock planes, you can enter your arrow keys. Left arrow key for green axis, entered. Now right arrow key for red axis or upward arrow key for upward axis. But here upward arrow key won't work because our rotating option only is in the blue color. That means it will only rotate in green and red axis. Suppose I want to rotate this cuboid. Okay, sorry, that was already selected. So you have to click somewhere else. Now I click on this thing. See what's happening? Because this was a cuboid. This cuboid was a group, right? This cuboid was a component. So when I rotated this whole thing, the whole thing rotated. But our pentagon was not a component. A pentagon was a differentiated object. Let's just Control Z enter and show you what happened here. Okay, so when I clicked on this rotate option, I clicked on its face, only its face got selected, right? So if I click on it, I try to move it, only my face is moving and all the faces which are connected to my face. Okay, only this right now I have selected this. So all these faces which are connected to my face are moving and the original face is moving. This portion remains the same because the whole thing was not a group or a component. Undo. I'll just quickly create it as a group. Now if I try to rotate it, now it's rotating. The whole thing is rotating. So I hope you understand how this rotating works. Now coming back to the red plus signs. Okay, suppose you want to move something, but at the same time, first you want to rotate. Click on any of these plus signs. If you want to rotate it along this axis, click here. And left arrow key, right arrow key, just see how it works. This along this axis. This along this axis. This is kind of a shortcut for rotating. Okay, I'll just show and rotate how this works. Okay, so anywhere you can rotate this whole thing, anywhere. This is looking like a Lego. So this is how pushing and pulling, rotating, and yeah, moving works, and grouping component. Now